Hello, good morning, traders out there here at XM Live Education in the advanced room, and also welcome to all our traders on YouTube today. Wish you a special good morning here and joining me in this kind of a special session as well. We are looking here about seasonal trading, and seasonal trading is something that I specifically like because you are able to to plan your trading activities. I would like to give you an example on the gold market. Um, Probably this is something what is for many traders as well interesting. How you could, for example, forecast and plan then such trade ideas to come. Sometimes this is keeping you. It's a good exercise as well for having patience because usually um, the seasonal trades actually are then happening when the season starts very often, a little bit before, a little bit after. And this makes it for a trader on one hand quite comfortable because we know approximately when do we have to take care about the market. But on the other hand, it makes it as well more or less complicated because we don't know exactly when it happens or if it happens, right? And that's the problem here. You see as well here the organization of the MetaTrader platform we're using here at XM is that I was putting myself here already like all the months is in. Yeah. So according to which kind of category of which kind of market, which kind of assets I would like to trade in the specific months, for example. And this makes the whole year, forward looking. And you know approximately exactly when you're going to trade what. And this is, let me quickly make here a very good example from the gold market. I just prepare here on the second screen quickly the data to show you, to demonstrate you exactly what I mean by this plannable situation. I will bring you now up the gold chart in a weekly chart, and you are seeing here on the bottom is an indicator. This is like a seasonal indicator, and you see like here one column separation, so the period separation, the vertical axis. This is giving you like the the year. This is 1 year actually. Yeah, so this is what I'm now here putting the rectangle in. This is 1 year, and then you can see here that in this 1 year, the prices are usually moving, quite similar, or the gold market is moving pretty similar in a similar rhythm. And this is what we are calling a seasonality. There is like, for example, a seasonality in the beginning of the year, end of the year, beginning of the year, very often, that is caused by gold is not so much an industrial metal, but for example, silver is. Silver and gold are moving relatively similar at certain point of times. And the year end or the beginning of the year seasonality is explained, for example, that all the companies are making their, or many companies that are using this kind of methods to make their business as a raw material, and they're making their business plan in the beginning of the year, and they're putting out the orders for gold, for oil, whatever, for silver, for the precious metals in the beginning of the year. And this is why we're seeing a very often a very positive start in gold or in silver in January, February, March. There's a huge demand coming from the industry, and this is of course giving you as well then a price push on the good, because the price development or how a price is created is always by offer and demand. And if you suddenly have a huge increased demand on one or specific product, like in this case gold, then as well we're seeing here like a price push usually, or very often. Another thing in gold is like the seasonality, the wedding season in India. The wedding season in India. Let me quickly exactly look about it. The wedding season in India usually goes from November to February. Yeah. And then you see here in November, Exactly, this is as well correlating here very nicely with the wedding season. It might be, some people might be finding it like funny, but it's really true. I mean, you can recognize this because suddenly, yeah, in India, and there's a lot of gold presents in the weddings, and then you have a push on gold. That's crazy, but it's like that. It's this is how the markets are working: demand and offer, and then the price is reacting usually. So, and look at that. If you're going then ahead, and for example, something like that, this is then the year end coming November time frame, and coming here November time frame, and you see here always when we find the bottom as well on the seasonality, you know what you could here get for, like, here it's a downtrend situation, then it might be a little bit more difficult. Yeah, but even then you see like this jump here in the price. Even here also we're still in a downtrend, starts to grow pretty nicely. Here as well, it started to grow pretty nicely last year. Yeah, here in last November, last October it was around. And then probably we will be getting it again as well here. And we have still a little bit of waiting time in front of ourselves before we are getting then into the year 2024. But November is not here yet. And this is also what we are seeing here right now. And in this picture, right? This is seasonality. So that means today you can already put in calendar middle of October approximately to look for the gold market more specific. Until then, nothing really seriously happening. But we see now as well what happens. We see now the gold market actually is going to get into a downward seasonality, which is nothing very spectacular at this very moment. But it could be like that we are seeing here the price and gold market comes in the next couple of days and weeks rather to the short side than to the long side. If you prefer to trade it long, you have waiting time. If you prefer to trade it on a short side, which in the CFD world you can easily do, you could sell it. You could sell it and wait for the price action signals, and then you get in and selling this. So that means as well, if you are trading seasonal, right? So then you are looking here, for example, into the peaks, and you say, okay, in this peak, we have to quickly check here exactly when it was. This was actually here at around like the January timeframe. Yeah, this was the January timeframe. So there as well in the January timeframe, if you're looking into the chart, so you start to monitor this from 1st of January or from December already, and you're waiting and you're seeing, okay, the seasonality was working out pretty nicely. Now it's expected to come a drop, and then you go there and end of December already, you're starting to observe the gold market and waiting for like a retracement. This is weekly chart, but if we are trading it, we can easily go on a smaller time frame, for example. Yeah, we can look as well then on a daily chart and say, well, let's go exactly into the time when it should start to drop, and then you will be seeing here that in the beginning or at the end of January, suddenly you get here reversal signs. Yeah, so you get reversal signs, and um, that means what you could do is, for example, you use a trend indicator, which could be a 18 days moving average, simple moving average, exponential moving average. We can look at the differences. You put it in and you say, okay, when I'm getting now below the moving average, then I'm trying to trade this to the short side. Yeah, so seasonality peaks. I'm leaving the trend here, getting a closure below, getting a second closure below, maybe using here still a little bit of a retracement or going directly, well, putting my stop loss here above, and you're able to make 50, 60, 70 dollars to the downside. This is what seasonality is showing you. And then if we are looking back into our seasonality picture, what's supposed to happen then after this drop is coming? We see then as well that we are moving again to the side, and we are having here, or we are switching again the seasonality and getting again maybe a push to the upside. So that means as well that here on this time frame, we are looking then again for long opportunities, right? So this was beginning of July. And then we're going again in our chart, looking at the beginning of July, and you see that here you have then a great opportunity to get this trade to the long side. Again, the same situation. We get above the moving average. We have two closes above, and we can go here pretty nicely and easily into this trade and trade it to the long side. And a very good indication always is here. What we could have seen here in July is that you are getting a structural change as well. And here is coming the combination of the seasonality and the trend combination, or the technical analysis, so to say. What we're having here is a lower low compared to these lows, another lower low, and a higher lower low, right? Here we get a higher lower low. We put ourselves here in, because if we are getting here above, we have this confirmed, and then you can trade it here to the long side. And depending, of course, on your exit strategy, take some profits. If you are not getting out of the trade early enough, of course, as well, the profits could be melting down like ice in the sun. This is the very good, the very, very interesting part about seasonal trading, in my opinion. This is something I can really recommend only to everybody to look into this one. And I would like to say as well a big good morning to Bokang. Just seeing now that we are having here a viewer that greets us. So of course, a very, very warm greeting back as well to you, Mr. Bokang and Kahale. I hope I pronounced your name now correctly. And otherwise, you have to educate me on that one still. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're enjoying here this seasonal session. And let's maybe get it into another market. Let's maybe check still an oil market, which also is like pretty much like a seasonal market as well. And we are looking here into the Brent contract. Can also look it into the WTI, whatever like market, especially in the commodity area. This is a great thing, right? And you look at here from the weekly chart and you see how cyclical the oil market is usually working. Always to the beginning of the year, we see a very, very nice spike in oil. And you see as well how reliably this can be actually traded. Always end of the year, beginning of the year. Here it didn't work out so nicely. But again, 2021 perfectly. 2020 we had the Corona dip. This was another incident that happened there. But look at that. You know how good you could get here into some really beautiful movements to the upside if you're looking at the seasonals, and you also know approximately when the oil in the year is peaking. And then you look into that one and say, okay, well, this could be now the time for looking rather into short opportunities, or like at least not taking fresh longs anymore. Yeah. Building up the position, managing the position absolutely is fine. Just because the seasonality is peaking, we don't want to get out. Good morning, Nandam, as well. And good morning, Muhammad El Sadawi. You can't see clearly. I can't see clearly, probably it means. Tell me, please. So what exactly you cannot see clearly? This is something I don't really know now exactly what exactly you cannot see very clearly. Here we have to look about what exactly is the problem. The screen is shared, the picture is there, the prices maybe, or the indication. You know, what we are looking here for in the indication is actually when we are getting, you know, a valley or a peak. And this is giving us, let me say, seasonal buy points for the oil market. Yeah. And here in the other picture that I brought you up before, it was the seasonal buy points or sell points of the gold market, for example. And this makes it for you very plannable. This was actually for summarizing up here this introduction right now. This makes it plannable, the trades, right? So we can be looking for, okay, when do we want to trade which market if we know this information? And This information you can find very easily out there in the internet, or you're joining us at XM Live Education every Wednesday morning when we are looking into the seasonal markets. And if there's interesting buy points coming, of course we are looking at them. And if you are looking here into the platform as well, we have many markets prepared for September, and looking here through as well for different kind of stocks, because also stocks do have seasonality. And if we are getting into a buy point situation, and if to a buying opportunity, then we're executing as well the trades, and getting, hopefully at the end, because we never know, of course, if it works out or not. This we have to be very honest to ourselves here.